Down starts now. From New Orleans, just blocks from Bourbon Street, the Jazz taking on the Pelicans. For Utah, coming into their own, building inertia. Can they take it a step further tonight? Pelicans, Jazz is next, and we'll be right back. Thanks for joining us in honoring Martin Luther King Day. It's a very special presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Brian Anderson. Coach Stan Van Gundy, Hall of Famer Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce round out our broadcast crew for this one. And a chance now to look at the schedule for the New Orleans Pelicans. On Wednesday, they'll take on Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. Then on Friday, they'll begin a road trip starting in Memphis, going up against the Grizzlies.
And looking at the Toronto matchup, you'd be hard-pressed to find a more even pairing in the league. That one promises to be a really closely fought battle.
So here are the Jazz starting five. We've got John Collins, Lauri Markkanen out there with George. And it's Hendricks in at the three, the small forward. And for the Pelicans, Murray and McCollum make up the talented backcourt. Jones at small forward with Zion holding down the four. And it's Olynyk in at the center position. Well, Grant, we're near the middle point of the year now. At what point do coaches start looking at limiting the minutes of their stars?
You know, each game is really the determining factor for how that plays out. So, when possible, you keep your stars in there for close games and get them some rest when the outcome isn't in question.
Here's Sensabaugh. Pass to Markkanen. Collins, no good. Here's New Orleans now. It's a three-point game. They defeated Utah in their last game.
It always helps when your opponent turns the ball over that many times. I thought it was the deciding factor overall.
Yeah, you got to think Coach will show this one as an example of what not to do. You got to take care of the ball.
And now we'll go to Allie LaForce, who had a chance to visit with Willie Green.
And I took the time to ask him about his strategy for Lauri Markkanen, and he said, we know he's going to hit big shots and be physical on the floor, but we're going to make him work for everything tonight. I hope we can test every shot that he takes. Hope and hard work. Can't ask for more than that, guys.
Great work, Allie. Thanks. And that one's good.
Yeah, we know Collins is great from distance, but I'd like to see him inside even more often.
And just over a minute played here to start the game. Olynyk with a screen on George. Pass to Olynyk. And here's McCollum. Takes a three. The rebound by Markkanen.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
Here's Hendricks. Defended by Jones. Rebounded by New Orleans. They came away with a victory in their last meeting, which, by the way, was also in this building.
Yeah, last time out, they barely captured a win against this team, and it came down to some key turnovers.
Well, when guys like Jones elevate, watch out.
The Jazz have gone 1 for 3 so far. Here's Collins. Played it in with a nice touch off the window.
The shots are certainly falling for him here in the early stages.
First quarter, just about 2 minutes in. McCollum, the pass to Olynyk. Murray against Collins. Olynyk with a screen on Collins. Back to Olynyk. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Well, he can really bully you in there. Olynyk is a tough assignment close to the basket.
And here's George. 14 points for him last game against New Orleans.
Well, and he was also doing a great job feeding his teammates, racking up the assists. So important to team chemistry.
And it's Kelly Olynyk with the foul. That's his first foul. And so Will Hardy calls for the timeout. Coach wants to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan. And looking at overall steal numbers, here are the teams that continue to wreak havoc. The Pelicans, second.
This team will punish you for sloppy ball control, no question. They've got a lot of fast-handed guys just waiting to take advantage.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here in the first. Here's the pick. George for three. McCollum pulls it in. And so McCollum will bring it up for the New Orleans Pelicans. 3-point lead. The 16th pick in last year's draft. Keontae George was thrown right into the fire his rookie season, Stan.
Yeah, down the stretch, he was basically handed the keys to the offense at the point guard position. He may take some lumps, but his talent level is evident. And the coaching staff has to be happy with how they've shot the ball here early on.
Now George. As far as his production, he's averaging about 8 points per game. Collins outside. It's hauled in by New Orleans. They've been taking care of business.
Especially at the offensive end, where they've been totally in sync.
Jazz trail by 5. Pass to Markkanen. Fires the three. Pure from three-point range.
Just a great setup for Markkanen. All he needed to do was shoot in rhythm.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into this first quarter. Now Olynyk. McCollum outside. Back to Olynyk. Fires for three. It's hauled in by Sensabaugh. For Utah, they've gone just 3 for 7 here at the start. Oh, there's the alley. And Collins with the slam.
Well, great to see in-sync offense like this. The pass is perfectly timed, and Collins rises up and puts it down.
The Pelicans have gone 4 of 7, shooting a solid percentage. Screen by Olynyk. McCollum, the pass to Olynyk. Back to McCollum. Pass to Olynyk. Shot clock at 6. New Orleans needs to hurry. Late clock. Off the mark there with a 3. Utah has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. Markkanen, the pass to George. Olynyk against Markkanen. Lays it up and banks it in. Markkanen's got 5 now.
Yeah, he was showing some muscle there. Markkanen is so tough to contain at times.
Here's Murray. Playing Utah, he was nearly unstoppable. Olynyk with a screen on George. Here's Murray. And it's Murray finishing it off.
All he needed was a little separation. So effective.
Boy, cleared the path, put him in position for a prime-time dunk.
Well, give credit to the screener there. That's how you help free up your teammates.
Here's Hendricks, following the score by New Orleans. No good from outside.
Well, that's a shot the defense felt like they could live with, and it worked out for them that time.
Pass to Olynyk. Jones with the ball. That one is off. Some solid defense from Markkanen. The Jazz have gotten 50% of their shots to fall so far. They're 5 of 10. And he was camped in the lane there. He gets a 3-second call. Now we get a chance to check some stats for Zion Williamson.
And he's been outstanding offensively as of late. These last 5 games, he's been a beast at the offensive end. A different level score than he had been earlier in the season. Let's see if he can keep it up.
Collier, he's checked in for Utah. Murray finds McCollum. Here's Olynyk. Outside Murray. Knocked away. And stolen by Markkanen. In transition. Collins passes to George. Here's Collier. McCollum defends. Pass to Hendricks. Back to Collins. Clock at 4. Over Williamson. Utah with another miss. And the Pelicans shooting a solid 50% in the opening quarter. So they take the lead.
Well, to Zion, a little bit of contact is nothing. I'm not even sure he feels that.
Utah trailing here. George scanning the floor. Here's Collins, and the foul is called. He missed it, so he's got a couple of free throws coming his way. It'll be on Zion Williamson.
Hey, if you can't block it, sending him to the line can be the next best thing.
Utah shooting their first free throws of this game. Free throws good from Collins. Well, last season, New Orleans finished with their best record since 2009. Stan, they went 49-33.
Well, you have to credit their roster construction. They've got 3 guys who can average 20-plus points, along with a lot of very solid young defenders, and these guys are only getting better.
Maybe the results haven't been there in recent seasons, but the Jazz have an exciting young core, Coach.
Yeah, they do, B.A. They've focused on youth, and some of those guys are developing into very good players. If this core stays in place and gels and they can add to it a little bit, watch out for this Jazz team.
Wondering how the West is shaping up? Well, the midseason grind is in full force. Let's check out the standings. You look at the Jazz, way down in the conference standings. Lots of ground to make up in the final half of the year. And checking out New Orleans, they need to work much harder to climb out of the bottom of the conference.
Seeing where the Pelicans are, there's no doubt they feel the pressure mounting. I mean, failing to match those expectations from the start of the year is apparent.
Yeah, I just don't know what has happened to them. You get the sense that their frustration is starting to reach a breaking point, too.
Utah has gone 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. To the inside. Markkanen misses.
A rare miss for him at point-blank range. That's one he'd like to have back.
Jones, the pass to Murray. Now here's Olynyk. Pass to McCollum. Stolen by Collins. Here's Markkanen. And Markkanen with the stuff.
Well, you can't forget that Markkanen is an accomplished dunker.
McCollum with it. He had a big outing in that Jazz game as well. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Zion Williamson is a one of one. His teammate C.J. McCollum told him, your ceiling is unlike anything the NBA has ever seen, but it's up to you to take full advantage of whatever it is. You can be as good as you want to be. This game will go where you take it. Brian?
You know, Allie, at his best, he is unstoppable. All right, we've now got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. He's got a special report. Shams, it's all yours.
Well, guys, Lauri Markkanen had said all along he was content to stay in Utah. And after signing a contract extension, he remains with the Jazz. He turns 28 in May, so he's just entering his prime. There's plenty of runway left if the Jazz think he can guide them back to the playoff mix. And with the timing of when Markkanen signed his extension, he is not trade eligible during this season.
Appreciate the update. Thanks, Shams. And last year, Coach, the Pelicans winning 49 games, their second most ever.
Yeah, Brian, but despite that, they got swept by OKC in the first round, and that just tells you how difficult the West is. New Orleans was the 8th seed. In the East, they get the 3 seed.
All right, the Jazz making a change here. Williams is checked in. Will stand since trading Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell in 2022. The Utah Jazz have done some reshaping of their roster.
Yeah, and Brian, it's clear that they're not done. The tinkering continues. They're going to continue to move pieces around until they find what they think can become a championship contending team.
Over the past month, these front court players have been money at the line. John Collins on top.
For him, it's about remaining aggressive and trying to get to the stripe as much as possible. It's evident he's got a nice stroke from there, and he needs to continue to exploit this in his and his team's favor.
Now here's Murray, a go-to option for this team. He puts up nearly 17 a game. Oh, plenty of contact on that shot. Officials call the foul, and he'll take 2 free throws now. And Grant, DeJounte Murray, a bit of a throwback player. He's comfortable attacking at all 3 levels.
Yeah, B.A. I mean, he does a lot of work in the mid-range for a guard. He's very comfortable with any shot on the floor. Not shy about putting up a ton of attempts if that's what's needed.
First one falls. And, Coach, you look at DeJounte Murray, a 6'5", do-it-all guard.
Well, Brian, he's got the size and quickness to defend either backcourt position. Offensively, he's best with the ball in his hands, but he has developed his spot-up game to help the team.
Sensabaugh is checked in for Williams.
We expect nothing less. He's generally been very good at the line.
There's a screen. Pass to Collier. And here's Kessler. Here's Collier. Here's Sensabaugh. 14 points for him last game against the Pelicans in New Orleans.
Yeah, and you see this with a lot of great scores. When they're putting up big nights, a lot of times it's because they're making a lot of free throws.
Now here's Murray. 6 points for him. Launches a 3. Good D by Kessler. Utah's gone 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. And he lobs it up to the rim. Now the Pelicans in transition. Jumps up, and he caps off the break with a monster slam.
You see the full strength and athleticism of Murphy on this jam.
Pass to Sensabaugh. Inside. Can they get it? Ooh, and they immediately answer back with a dunk on the other end.
Well, you love the unselfishness. Makes the next pass and enables his team to capitalize on the possession.
And so it's Murray who brings up the ball for the Pelicans. There's a screen. Ooh, Kessler with the block.
Oh, big Walker Kessler. That is how you use your size. Assisted buckets. Every team wants them. They show you're running effective team offense.
And it's Willie Green calling the timeout here. He wants to give him a breather and talk things over. Williamson's checked in for the Pelicans. Alvarado comes in for DeJounte Murray. Martin, he's checked in for Utah. A minute 9 left in the first. Outside, Brown. Pass to Hawkins. And it's blocked by Kessler. Here's Juzang. Still no points. Kessler with it. Here's Sensabaugh. Shot clock at 5. Kessler a screen. Charity stripe shot. He squares up and sinks it. And now it's a 4-point Utah lead.
Rock solid screen right there. The defender got completely lost.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look from there.
Here's Hawkins.
Get there.
Pass to Alvarado. Kick out to Brown. In transition, here come the Jazz. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line. It's going to be on Bruce Brown.
Man, he made sure to get his money's worth on that foul.
Utah shooting their 6th and 7th free throw shots in the game. And he makes the first. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Now here's Alvarado. And no good. Trying to get that one to fall. John Collins has been leading the charge for Utah. 11 points in the quarter. He's on fire. We'll be right back. And proud to have you with us on Martin Luther King Day for a special presentation of the NBA. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Jazz.
Well, they're playing with great pace, pushing the ball up the floor and attacking before the defense can get set.
And I've also liked how they've attacked the opposition off of turnovers. I mean, just making them pay for every mistake out there.
Utah leading by 6. So the Jazz 5 right now. Kenyon Martin is out there with Walker Kessler. Then there's Collier, and it's Sensabaugh in at the 2-guard position. Here's Collier. They lead by 6. That's their biggest margin.
Couldn't quite line that one up. Just got to shake it off and move on to the next one.
Here's Hawkins. Takes it inside, bearing his 2nd of 3 attempts. Grant, there's a huge difference between talent on paper versus winning.
You're right, B.A., and it comes down to coaching, chemistry, and sacrifice. But I think the biggest thing is effort. All things being equal, the team that plays the hardest is going to win.
So it's Utah now, after the basket by New Orleans. Here's Sensabaugh. To the wing on the left. It's hauled in by Zion Williamson. Williamson's got 4 rebounds in the game. To the paint. And he throws it down. What a terrific lead pass.
And plays like that one can make the difference in a close game.
And it definitely got the bench on their feet, too.
And, guys, you cannot allow that in a close game. You have to make it harder than that.
And we've got a timeout called by Will Hardy. He wants a few moments to regroup with his players. And some of the best high flyers in the NBA. Some of this year's contenders for the dunk contest.
And when you look at the names on that list, you just know that contest has a chance to be special.
Well, you look at Williamson, and he's just short of the #1 spot in the voting. No question it seems that he'll be a factor in the dunk contest.
Yeah, B.A., you don't want to have to win in the voting to be the winner on the court come All-Star Weekend. I'm sure he's got what it takes to get some 10s from the judges.
So that's how things are currently looking for the dunk contest. But, of course, we'll update you with the latest news as we receive it.
And as this lineup starts to take shape, this event is only getting more and more exciting.
Here's Sensabaugh, defended by Brown. Shot's good by Sensabaugh. Sensabaugh's got 10 points.
Keep getting him the ball. He's been a huge part of this offense.
And here's Alvarado. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. Pass to Williamson. Oh, and the big finish by Williamson.
Well, we'll never get tired of those dunks from Zion.
Here's Collier. Alvarado defending. Here's Sensabaugh. And that one goes. He's now recorded his 5th bucket in 8 tries.
They're punishing those late defensive rotations, getting good looks inside throughout the half.
All right, for those just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second. Stan, after his 12-year playing career, Willie Green has made a seamless transition into coaching.
Yeah, first of all, Willie Green is a person of very high character. Second, Brian, he consciously started preparing himself to coach while he was still playing, and then he was able to work on great staffs under great coaches, and now he's an outstanding head coach in his own right.
Shot's good by Sensabaugh. 14 points for him.
Well, he's been very efficient in this quarter. Keep getting him the ball.
Pelicans trail by 3. Now Alvarado. Pass to Hawkins. They set a pick. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Oh, it's stolen. Here's Juzang. And he buries his first look.
Looks like we're starting to see a pattern here. Not afraid to get in the paint and get wet.
And almost 4 minutes gone in the second quarter of play. Alvarado outside. Pass to Williamson. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Hawkins. The floater. Kessler with a rebound. Utah leading by 5. And they've been producing at a high level.
No question. They're in a nice rhythm offensively. Woo! I just love that alley-oop slam, B.A.
Defense disorganized. Defense pays. And here's New Orleans now. Alvarado outside. Pass to Hawkins. Back to Alvarado. 4 on the clock. Now Williamson. Here's Juzang. And right now he's currently putting up 6.5 points per game. Here's Collier. It's hauled in by New Orleans. Alvarado, left side. Pass to Hawkins. Now Williamson. And it's blocked by Kessler. Here's Collier. Kessler, a screen. 3-pointer. They get the rebound. Goes up again. And he's missed his first 2 shots of the game. And so Brown will bring it up for the Pelicans. They trail by 7. And as it goes out of bounds, New Orleans will keep possession. Olynyk checked in for New Orleans. C.J. McCollum comes in for Alvarado. And a switch here also for Utah. Williams is checked in for Sensabaugh. That'll be a 5-second call. And taking a broader look here at the year-over-year scoring trend for C.J. McCollum.
And the scoring trend over the last few years has been going down a bit. That's not what you want, and I'm sure it's something he's well aware of.
And we've got a timeout called by Will Hardy. He wants to make sure everybody's on the same page. For New Orleans, Jones comes in for Brown, and Murray subbed in for Hawkins. Markkanen's checked in for Utah. Hendricks comes in for Williams. Jazz leading by 7. Here's Collier, still without a bucket. From 7 feet. Ooh, and he took a hard foul on the shot. So he'll head to the line to shoot a pair. That one on Murray.
And even from where we're sitting, you could clearly tell it was a foul.
Stan, you've coached so many rookies over the years. What are some key things you like to see from a player coming into the league?
Well, look, you've got to have the guy, Brian, that's ready to compete at that level and has to bring that every night. From there, it's just all about learning. There's going to be mistakes, but you want guys who can learn and improve at a consistent rate.
Is it true that defense is the fastest way into the coach's heart?
Well, it's certainly a way to gain confidence, that's for sure.
Now here's McCollum. Right now he's contributing about 15.5 points a game.
Well, whether he's scoring or passing, McCollum is extremely skilled at running the pick and roll.
The Jazz have gotten 5 of their first 11 shots to fall here in the second quarter. Here's Collier, defended by Murray. And it goes! As the official calls the foul, count it, and he'll shoot one more at the line. John Collins checked in for Utah. George comes in for Juzang. Well, the Jazz are one of just 10 NBA franchises to never win a championship, Grant.
Yeah, you know, it's so hard to believe considering they have the 4th best winning percentage in NBA history. Think about it. If it weren't for one Michael Jordan, they'd probably have 2 rings.
McCollum finds Murray. Clock at 6. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up. And Grant, you look at the players the Pelicans have gone after recently. They have a clear plan.
Well, they do, B.A. They want to surround Zion with shooters, which, of course, makes sense. It's sort of the same kind of blueprint the Bucks laid out with Giannis. If you can shoot, the Pelicans have a spot for you.
Williams is checked in for Utah. Pelicans trail by 7. And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian. The Jazz are making progress. Coach Will Hardy said this team has shown grit and character and has developed a lot of confidence. When we're going through game preparations, the players walk away knowing if they do certain things, they can win. That's a big step in the right direction.
A bright future, Allie. Thank you. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. Stan, another head coach from the Greg Popovich tree, Will Hardy, who started his career in San Antonio.
And there have been a lot of successful guys that have come through the Spurs organization. Will Hardy is just another one who is developing into an outstanding NBA coach.
All right, the Jazz making a change here. Sensabaugh's checked in.
And he's shown a great touch at the line. They've tested the big guy, but he's come through.
George against Murray. Collins right side. Rebound by Olynyk. Olynyk's got his 5th rebound in this one. Up and in on the layup. McCollum's gotten 4 this quarter.
Ready to cash in. I like when McCollum looks to mix it up like this.
Utah leading by 3. Pass to Sensabaugh. There's a screen. From 8 feet. And that one's long. And it's Jones with the ball for New Orleans. Here's McCollum. Utah grabs the miss. Markkanen's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Sensabaugh, defended by Jones. Throws it up high. It's stolen by Olynyk. Out on his own on the break. Basket counts. And it's now only a 1-point Utah lead.
Well, just such a big guy. Olynyk able to convert inside.
Utah has gone 0 for 2 from outside in the second quarter. Here's Sensabaugh. McCollum defends. Pass to Markkanen to end the drought. Rebound by Olynyk. Olynyk's got his 6th rebound on the night.
The battle of the boards has been something to watch.
The Jazz on offense. They're moving on after the tough loss at the hands of the Pelicans.
And just far too many turnovers. You can't expect to win if you can't protect the ball.
Now look, turnovers hurt you in 2 ways. You lose the possession on offense, and defensively, giveaways normally lead to easy points for your opponents.
Right now, a close game in New Orleans. Pass to Sensabaugh. George, a screen on McCollum. Here's Sensabaugh. Sinks the tray. Sensabaugh's got 9 points now in the quarter. And boy, has this been a competitive matchup thus far.
These teams have swapped leads 7 times already, and we're not even in the second half.
And it's Willie Green calling the timeout here. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. Now looking at the 2K leaderboard, specifically which teams have created a lot of turnovers and cashed in on the other end during the last 10 games. The Pelicans, second.
Well, over these last few games, they've been putting excellent pressure on the ball handlers and then turning those forced errors into easy points.
So it's the Pelicans now, trailing by 2. McCollum, the pass to Murray. To the middle. McCollum outside. 5 on the clock. The rebound by Markkanen.
It seemed like he changed his mind during the layup, tried to pull off another shot, and choked.
Pass to Sensabaugh. Markkanen outside. Here's Hendricks. Here's Sensabaugh. He's got 17. No good on the 3.
And the defense got away with one there. I mean, that's a shot he typically makes.
Here's Murray. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up. It goes on Keontae George.
Yeah, and this team wants Murray to play aggressively and get to the line more.
So far, he's made all of his shots at the foul line, going 4 for 4.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. And we all know about Stan the analyst and Stan the coach. But when you played in college, what was your game like, Stan?
Hey, Brian, I had the game that would get you beat as a coach. I will say my greatest strength was this. I was never once accused of overpassing.
The black hole. That is Stan Van Gundy. And Murray drops them both.
Well, it seems like every season, DeJounte Murray is out to make it his best year. That competitiveness is something you really appreciate.
Now here's George. No made baskets yet. Pass to Sensabaugh. With the floater. He can't get that one to fall. The Pelicans have gotten 8 of 14 shots to drop so far in the second. Out left to the wing. Back to Collins. Markkanen with it. And he lobs it up. Out of bounds. It'll be Pelicans ball.
Well, it shows you how crucial communication is. They clearly weren't on the same page there.
And we have to take another look at that block.
Oh, my. And that was textbook defense, positioning himself well to send it back.
Here's New Orleans now. They're on a 14-6 run. There's 57 seconds left in the second. Down low. Oh, they pick off the pass. And they're running. Here's Sensabaugh. Oh, a two-handed power slam.
And that's gotta hurt. A turnover for a free run at the rim.
And now we know who has the momentum.
A sequence like that really does sting. I'll tell you that much.
Here's McCollum following the bucket by Utah. Outside Murray. On the wing, Jones. Back to Murray. 5 to shoot. This one for 3. The rebound by the Jazz. George outside. Pass to Collins. Here's Hendricks. Marking it inside. From behind the arc. Sinks it from distance. And it's a 5-point Jazz lead. And so a close game as we wrap up the first half of play. Utah ahead, leading by 5. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
And thank you for joining us as with 2 quarters in the books, it's looking good for the Utah Jazz.
Watching them on the offensive end, they did a great job moving that basketball. There's no surprise in those assist totals how they reflect that.
Keeping everyone involved, keeping everyone engaged.
And the next topic to touch on, a look at which players might be appearing in the upcoming dunk contest.
As a resident dunk contest expert, I can tell you, these are the names you want in the dunk contest, guys. Don't come at me with who isn't making the cut because this group is all you need.
Geez, I guess we can call it right now. The Jet has spoken. And that's it for halftime. Thank you for joining us. We send you back to Brian Anderson for the start of the third quarter.
And again, happy Martin Luther King Day as we return to the court here on 2K Sports. Utah leading by 5. Filling out the wings, it's McCollum and Jones. Zion Williamson out there with Kelly Olynyk, and it's Murray in a...
Wow! Don't forget, Murray's steal started the fast break.
Zion Williamson seems intent on silencing all the doubters moving forward, Graham.
Yeah, B.A., he's not taking any more questions about conditioning. His physicality and play really answered that question now. He has been looking better than ever.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. He does not get the second one. You know, there's so much to like about Herb Jones. It's hard to know where to start with this guy, Coach.
Well, Brian, I think I know where it starts. It starts with him being an all-defensive caliber defender, one of the best in the league. But then lately, he's been so efficient from three-point range, and his overall efficiency at the offensive end has gone way up. He's become a complete player.
Outside Olynyk. Back to Murray. Pass to Olynyk. McCollum with it. Guarded now by George. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting. Well, one of the sharpest players off the floor, C.J. McCollum.
Well, Brian, he also did a great job as president of the Players Union, and he's great on his podcast, too.
I'm sure he'll be doing games with you soon enough after his playing career.
Yeah, I just hope he's not taking my job. Look, a leader both on and off the floor. You can tell McCollum's teammates really look up to him.
And so Will Hardy calls for the timeout. He's going to talk it over with his guys. Pass to Hendricks. Into the lane. Off with the layup. Pelicans trail by 3. McCollum on the wing. He's got 5. Williamson for 3. That's good. And it's McCollum with the assist. Williamson's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Yeah, you'd like to see Williamson be able to take that 3 more often, but he's got to shoot it better.
Murray against George. Now here's Collins. Back to George. Perfect pass to set up the lay-in.
The defense couldn't collapse quickly enough.
Into the third. 2 minutes in now. Murray with it. He's got 12. Pass to Jones for the lead. They get it back. Olynyk tries again. Over to the left wing. 6 to shoot. Here's Murray. They had a number of cracks at it. Just came away empty-handed. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on C.J. McCollum. That's his first foul. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Pass to Collins. It's George on the wing. Defended by Murray. And Collins with the slam.
Throw it anywhere near Collins, he'll take care of the rest, putting his athleticism and length to perfect use.
Now here's Murray. A go-to option for this team. He puts up nearly 17 a game. Outside Olynyk. Now McCollum. Screen by Olynyk. McCollum, pass to Olynyk. Just 5 on the clock. Good on the shot. Olynyk's got 8 points.
Well, when you have a scorer as skilled as he is, you do everything you can to get him the looks he needs.
George against Murray. George passes to Collins. Three-pointer. Hendricks, no good.
You gotta love how they've been crashing the boards, fighting hard for every miss.
Here's Williamson. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. Well, Coach, Zion is always must-see TV when he plays. It's his availability that is questioned.
Yeah, it is, Brian, but he's been healthier. And when he plays, there's nobody like him in the NBA with that size, skill, and force.
The first free throw is good.
And you look at Zion. His combination of size, speed, and strength can be extremely difficult for a defense to have to deal with.
Williamson hits them both. Second half here, and we're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Pass to Hendricks. Here's Sensabaugh. McCollum defends. Here's Markkanen. It's hauled in by New Orleans. Olynyk's got 9 rebounds in the game. Boy, he's getting it done. To the middle. Ooh, it's stolen away. And the Jazz pushing it up now. And here they go. Olynyk with some nice D. The Pelicans have gone 3 of 7 here in this third quarter. Pass to Murray. Back to Olynyk. Now Murray. George defending. Murray passes to Olynyk. And stolen by Markkanen. George left side. Drains the triple. George has got 5 points in the quarter. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Jazz.
Well, they've shown just outstanding effort defensively, and it's resulted in several forced turnovers.
They're also finding a lot of points tonight off of transition play, running the floor and using the fast break to beat the defense.
Here's Murray. The rebound by the Jazz. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Here's Hendricks. Got it. Good job in the low post. And now a 5-point Jazz lead. And here's Williamson. He's got 11. Outside Olynyk. Pass to McCollum. Now Murray. Olynyk passes to Murray. Driving in. And it's good. Fought through contact. Hit the shot. And will go to the line. And he's made all of his 6 tries at the line in this one. Brown, he's checked in for Jones. And Murray, no good on that one.
And DeJounte Murray is truly the complete package. He does a little of this and a little of that. Anything you need out there, he can make it happen. That's been typical of their performance today. They're sharing the ball and creating good shots.
Olynyk finds Murray. Williamson outside. George against Murray. It's rebounded by Hendricks.
Well, he certainly had trouble finding the mark this quarter.
Collins, high post. Pass to Sensabaugh. They set the pick from outside the arc. It's hauled in by New Orleans.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
And here's Brown for 3. It's good. And the assist goes to Murray. Murray's got 5 assists in the game. Here's Sensabaugh. George, a screen on McCollum. Kicks it out to Markkanen. Takes the 3. The rebound by Murray.
Just hasn't found much consistency from the floor, but his teammates have picked up the slack.
The shot is good, and this game is back to even. Murray's got 4 points now in the quarter.
He's athletic and deceptively long. Murray is excellent at using those advantages to get all the way inside.
Pass to Collins. Here's Hendricks, defended by Brown. Back to Collins. Here's Hendricks, defended by Brown. George for three. Rebounded by New Orleans. Williamson's got 9 rebounds now. It's McCollum with a drive for the lead. And there's Brown. That one's good. On the assist by McCollum. And it's a 3-point New Orleans lead. Utah has gone just 1 of 5 from 3-point range here in the third quarter. Markkanen, the pass to Collins. They need this. Rebound by Olynyk. Olynyk's got 11 rebounds in the game. Boy, the offense has been on point.
They have great timing and great communication. So hard to get stops against them.
McCollum, the pass to Williamson. And there's a whistle. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. It's on Lauri Markkanen.
Forcing his way to the free throw line. Zion is so tough to handle. So strong and athletic.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Pelicans.
Well, they've been absolutely on fire from deep. And until the defense offers more resistance, the coaches are going to keep encouraging them to let it fly.
They're also doing a good job working the ball inside tonight. The defense has been struggling to slow them down there in the paint.
Williamson hits them both.
Yeah, the physical abilities of Zion are truly next level. His build, his strength, it makes him difficult to defend and totally unique.
Ooh, poked away and stolen by Williamson. To the paint. Oh, Williamson throws it down.
And they're playing rock-solid basketball right now. Really starting to see that lead grow.
Well, that third quarter is when you want to increase your lead. Really building it up before that final quarter.
Williams is checked in for Utah. And it's New Orleans ball. They're on an 18-7 run. Back to Murray. To the inside. Brown. Yes. And it's Murray picking up the assist. Brown's got 11 points.
They're really settling into a nice rhythm now. Starting to gain the upper hand.
Yeah, you're seeing their offense in a flow. Now it's time for their defense to turn up the heat a little more.
Here's Collins. The Jazz again can't hit.
As they just continue to dominate the boards.
The drive by Murray.
What a take there by Murray. He's not afraid of getting hit on his way to the rim.
In the game, he shot 6 of 7 from the line.
And I love how he's earned his share of points at the line tonight, not wasting his chances at all.
The free throw drops from Murray. Hits one, then misses the second attempt from the line. He got him. No doubt that's a foul. And it's going to be a transition take foul. Nice work at the line so far. Going 5 for 5. Free throw is good from Collins.
Well, Collins is an exceptional athlete with a lot of skill offensively. But I'd like to see more out of him on the defensive end. I think that could bring his game to another level.
Inside. The kick out to Williams. Back to Kessler. To the paint. And Williams punches it home.
His playmaking is something to watch. Threading that pass right in there.
Here's Brown. He's got 11. Stolen by Collins. Pass to Williams. McCollum pulls it in. New Orleans leading by 7. Outside Murray. Shot clock at 6. Here's McCollum. Rebounded by the Jazz. Kessler's got 5 rebounds in the game. And it's Williams. Oh, he packs it down.
That is incredible.
B.A., forget about attempting the long-range 3 to cut into that lead. Just attack the rim, my man.
Man, that was sweet. Here's New Orleans. They're on a 17-7 run. Stolen by Kessler. Here's Collier. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair. That one on Murphy.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. Hawkins is checked in for New Orleans. And Utah with a change here too. Martin's checked in. That one misses. Pass to Collier. 6 on the shot clock. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Collier's got 7 points in the game.
Able to get a layup out of that one. That's just soft defense there.
1:21 left in the third quarter. All sorts of time. That's short off the rim. And stolen by Murray. To the middle. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
And that's got to hurt. A turnover for a free run at the rim.
And now we know who has the momentum.
A sequence like that really does sting. I'll tell you that much.
Here's Collier, defended by Murray. Fires from deep. And that's good. Collier for 3. Collier's got 6 here in the quarter.
Easy look when the defender isn't fighting over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
On offense, here's Utah. Stringing it together. They've got an 11-2 run going.
Everyone in the building saw the obvious contact.
Shooting 2.
And it's tied up with that one. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe.
Well, he's got to be disappointed that he wasn't able to take the lead, but at least he evened things up.
And it's blocked by Kessler. And that one falls. That puts him up 1 point in the game now. Utah's gone 2 of 6 from downtown here in the second half. To the inside. Here's Martin. And there it is for him. Martin's got his second bucket of the night.
And since the break, both teams are increasing their intensity and really getting after it.
Yeah, and you can feel the pace picking up in this second half. Both teams have dialed up the intensity.
If you can, use up the clock en route to the last shot.
Yeah, but if you get an open look, you got to think about taking it no matter how much time is left on the clock.
Terrific court awareness there. Murray recognizes the open man and wastes no time getting him the ball.
Kessler, a screen on Murray. For three, Collier. No good from three-point range. It's a tie game in New Orleans. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling here on 2K Sports. And let's take this opportunity to show you our State Farm assist to the game.
This is the definition of team chemistry. I love to see this kind of communication and connection between teammates leading to the perfect pass.
Well, it's one of the core parts of the game. Reading the defense and creating an easy bucket for your teammate. That is pretty.
Hey there, everyone. Glad you could join us on MLK Day on 2K Sports. And Utah looking at who they've got to start the fourth. They've got Collier, Walker Kessler out there with Kenyon Martin. Then it's Williams, and it's Juzang in at the three. Here's Collier. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. And he drops the first. Both good from the line that time. And Brown has got the ball here for the Pelicans. Down low. Pass to Hawkins. Inside. Stolen by Kessler. Out on his own on the break. Here's Williams. And Williams punches it home.
Incredible. I mean, high energy in transition. Just beating the defense up the floor.
Yeah, the commitment to run is paying great dividends on the break.
Pelicans trail by 4. Here's Williamson. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair. That one on Kessler.
Well, getting in Zion's way is really a recipe for contact. You know he won't hold back.
Williamson hits them both. The Jazz shooting the ball at 46% from the floor. Pass to Collier. Martin with the ball. Now Kessler. We're just over a minute into this final quarter play. Foul beyond the arc, and he almost hit the shot. He'll go to the line for 3.
You know, not the smartest play a defender can make there.
Three shots.
No good on that one. And he sinks the second. And he nails the third.
Did enough to make it a 2-possession game. Every point counts, especially down the stretch.
Pelicans trail by 4. Brown passes to Hawkins. To the paint. Utah grabs the miss. To the left side wing. Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock. Pass to Kessler. Clock at 6. The Jazz need to get one up in a hurry. The Jazz again can't hit. New Orleans has gone 7 for 17 from three-point range so far in this matchup. They get it again. Kick out to Brown. They set the pick. That shot missing. Good D by Kessler. Utah leading by 4. Here's Collier. Pass to Kessler. Here's Collier. Jacks up a three. He's off on that one. The Pelicans have gone 0 for 3 in this fourth. Not good. Alvarado. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. And New Orleans making a change here. McCollum's checked in. Well, a rangy defender and a knockdown spot-up shooter, Coach. A lot to like about Trey Murphy.
There sure is, Brian. He had the knee issue last season, which was a bump in the road. But for a mid-first-round pick back in 2021, his development overall has been beyond encouraging.
High flyer and a great shooter. What a combo. We're in the final quarter play here. 3 minutes in. Now Brown. McCollum on the wing. Williamson with a screen on Williams. Shot's good by McCollum.
Well, McCollum really can hit from anywhere. He's got every move.
A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Here's Collier. Pass to Juzang from the arc. Connects from downtown. Juzang's got 5 points now this quarter.
That's exactly the kind of shooting you need down the stretch to win games.
Kick out to Brown. From deep. Up again. Rebounded by Juzang. Jazz leading by 4. Here's Collier. Pass to Williams. Martin with the ball. And he's going for the oop here. And stolen by Brown. Now the Pelicans in transition. Here's Williamson. And the bucket counts. And he is on his way to the line. He'll try to make it a 3-point play. Hawkins is checked in for Alvarado. That's good from Williamson.
Finally getting himself to the free throw line. He was sitting back in the first half with no free throws to show for it.
Pass to Hendricks. George, a screen on Brown. Here's Juzang. From 13. Here's Markkanen. It's Markkanen scoring inside.
Well, he was using that big frame. Markkanen can pile up offensive rebounds.
McCollum taking his time here. Now Brown to tie it up. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on C.J. McCollum. That'll be a second foul of the game.
Wow, he's found his game offensively here in the second half. Really has turned things around.
The Jazz have gotten 4 of 9 shots to go in during this fourth quarter. Here's Hendricks. Oh, a clear foul there on the missed shot. So he'll get a pair at the line.
The officials were right on top of that one.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. Both shots good from the stripe. The Pelicans trail. It's Williamson with the drive. Book it again. 7 for 12 and going at the defense.
The defense had him confused early on, but he's responded in the second half with some assertive play.
Utah has gone 1 for 3 in the fourth quarter from range. George against McCollum. George, right side. Now the Pelicans in transition to take the lead. Second shot opportunity. That puts them in the lead. And the Pelicans lead by 2.
Relentless effort creates the second chance opportunity.
And so George will bring it up for the Jazz. Collins outside. It's Markkanen on the wing. Markkanen sticks one from distance.
Yeah, look, you know Markkanen has this kind of range. That defense has got to get out on him.
And we've got a timeout called by Willie Green, looking to get everyone dialed in and engaged. Olenek's checked in for the Pelicans. Murray comes in for Hawkins. Sensabaugh's checked in for Utah. A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Hey guys, well, Willie Green had some advice for the team over that last break. Confidence is what he's asking for right now. He said, quote, when it's close, we have to keep believing in ourselves, and if we don't think we can pull it out, we've already lost. So some strong words from Coach in the huddle. Back to you, Brian.
Okay, thank you, Allie. Murray with it. Guarded now by George. Murray, no good. The Jazz have got 5 out of 10 shots to drop here in the final quarter. Pass to George. And then it's Collins with the dunk.
Yeah, every coach wants assisted buckets. Guys like George, they move the ball.
Pelicans trail by 3. Williamson with it. Utah grabs the miss. Hendricks has got 4 rebounds now. Out to the right wing. Markkanen with it. Offensive rebound. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line.
Well, the way Markkanen plays inside is exactly what that coaching staff wants.
And the second free throw is good. And for a scorer as prolific as Markkanen, he doesn't need the ball in his hands too often.
So many of his scores come off assists. So just a great sense of when to get into space and become available.
Ooh, too long in the paint. And he's hit with a 3-second violation. And the technical free throw is good.
Now a veteran in this league, Olenek has carved out a nice role for himself thanks to his hustle and versatile skill set.
George against Murray. Shot clock at 6. Pass to McCollum. Here's the 3. Yes, and it's Murray picking up the assist. Murray's got 9 assists now tonight.
Well, already an improvement for him from beyond the arc in this half.
And it's Utah with the ball. Here's Sensabaugh. Back to George. Here's Sensabaugh. To the inside. Here's Markkanen. Forcing the issue. Markkanen.
They're playing a lot more aggressively on the offensive boards in the second half, racking up a ton of second chance points.
Brown, a screen on George. Pass to Olenek. Williamson for 3. And another 3 for New Orleans.
This defense just can't stay connected to shooters.
Here's George. Here's Sensabaugh. George, a screen on McCollum. Back to George. Takes the assist and lays it in. Nice setup. George has got 9 points here in the second half. And here's New Orleans now. They trail by 1. Now here's McCollum. Left side Murray. And the Pelicans get another bucket right there.
Well, that can be a tough range, but Murray made it look routine.
Utah's gone 2 of 4 from the perimeter here in the fourth quarter. Pass to Sensabaugh. McCollum with a steal, and they're on the break. Williamson inside. Collins defending.
Yeah, I love the activity there from Zion. He was all over that rebound.
Jazz trail by 3. Collins outside. Here's Hendricks, defended by Brown. To the middle. Here's George. The rebound by Murray.
Yeah, there's really no excuse for missing that one. That's just a blown opportunity.
McCollum outside. The 3 is up. It's rebounded by Hendricks. Hendricks has got a rebound number 5 here tonight to the paint. Kicks it out to Collins. Knocks it down from distance. Collins has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Big time from Collins right there.
And it's Willie Green calling the timeout here. Coach clearly has something he wants to say to his team right now. Jones, he's checked in for the Pelicans. New Orleans has gone 3 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the third quarter. And it's McCollum penetrating the 3. That's good from Jones. And the assist by McCollum.
And looking to shoot as many threes as possible. This kind of confidence, impressive to see.
Jazz trail by 3. Up top, George. Defended by Murray. Markkanen looking it over. And he's going for the lob. And Collins with the slam.
And the confidence Collins has is impressive. Doesn't feel any pressure taking these big shots.
And here's New Orleans now. They've led by as much as 10. Pass to Olynyk. And here's Williamson. 6 to shoot. Over Markkanen. And no good, trying to use the glass. The Jazz shooting a terrific 56% so far in the fourth quarter. George with it, guarded by Olynyk. To the inside. Here's Markkanen. It's good. Set up beautifully by George. George has got his 4th assist with that last one. Murray against George. Outside Murray. Down low. Here's Olynyk. And a nice finish on the layup. And the Pelicans lead by 1.
The vet stepping up. Kelly Olynyk ready in these key spots.
There's a minute 26 left in the fourth quarter. George outside. Got it again. That makes him 8 for 15 for the night.
What a shot by Markkanen. You can see why his teammates turned to him down the stretch.
1:16 left in the fourth quarter. Murray against George. Kicks it out to Williamson. Let's go with a 3. Look at Zion showcasing the range.
Those are some key points there from Zion Williams.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for Utah. 2-point game. Here's Markkanen. Pass to Sensabaugh. Launches it. Markkanen misses. This play could decide the game.
Can't afford any mistakes here, B.A.
Here's Williamson. Oh, look out when Williamson gets a step.
Whoa, that is as clutch as it gets. Big time play.
Yeah, don't you just love to see a player embrace that kind of pressure?
And so Will Hardy calls for the timeout. Critical moment here. He's not taking any chances. Murray against George. Inside, here's Markkanen. Williams grabs the board, and an intentional foul right there. "26 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and they go to the intentional foul. He hits the first one, and that puts him up 5. And so both free throws good, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Taking care of business at the line, and he adds some cushion to their lead.
And so Will Hardy calls for the timeout. He wants to make sure they're purposeful with the game plan. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth. And he lobs it up top. McCollum with a steal. And so they choose to intentionally foul. Ooh, he doesn't hit the first. That was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. And he's able to hit the second one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Utah with the ball.
At this point, it just feels like it's over.
Yeah, time is not on their side. The score is not on their side. Nothing you can do.
And so it's New Orleans winning this one. Boy, a hard-fought game. They did a great job of holding on to the lead at the end.
Yeah, get the coffee, because that's the way to close. You're going to face some obstacles in the game, but they overcame every one.
All right, let's send it down to Allie LaForce, who's with our player of the game.
Zion, this is a team with some outstanding young players with complementary skills. How do you see yourself fitting in?
I think I fit in very well. I think I'm a very versatile player. You can throw me out there with any group, and I'm going to put up, do something to contribute. And I think we're a very unselfish team, so that plays a big part to it.
And any group would be happy to have you. Thanks, Zion.
Allie, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For Stan Van Gundy, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, I'm Brian Anderson, thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And as we leave you, here's a look at our player of the game, Zion Williamson.